Saturday night in Paradise, and Paradise is found indoors. It's about 115 degrees outside. Come on inside of Chase Field. These Florida Marlins go head-to-head with your Arizona Diamondbacks. All the action on Fox Sports Arizona as the Diamondbacks have won 6 of their last 7. Hello there once again, everybody, and welcome back to the ballpark. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and we trust that you have had a good weekend. Now, when you think about the Diamondbacks winning 6 of their last 7, there is the one loss in the middle. It was 2 days ago. It was as forgetful as any loss the Diamondbacks have ever had. They were up by 7, and they lost by 7, but yet last night they played like that hadn't even occurred. I know Dan Herron was a big part of it, but they played a complete game.
They did, and yeah, Dan Herron was the guy that set the tone. He came out and threw us a couple scoreless innings. But then the Diamondbacks did something that I really enjoyed, Darren, and that was get big hits with 2 outs. They scored a bunch of runs with 2 outs yesterday. That shows me that the team is still scrapping, it's still fighting, and it's still got an edge to them.
Scrapping and fighting and having an edge. Interestingly enough, I think that may describe John Garland, because he has gone, well, since May, since he pitched in Florida without picking up a win. But he's pitched very well of late, and he's also pitching better at home. And I want to stop right there, because I think at home, that's where he's suffered his biggest nightmares. Well, he is now awakened and overcoming those nightmares.
I think a lot of times you have people in your ear. Well, you know what? He changed leagues, or he changed teams. Well, he's pitching in the National League now. He doesn't know the hitters. Well, pretty soon, if you're John Garland, you hear those things, but you say, you know what? I got to go back to doing what I did when I was in the American League, and that's win baseball games. That's what he did. He was a terrific pitcher over in the American League. Now I think he realized, you know what? I still have to go out there every 5th day, take the baseball, and win baseball games. And you're starting to see the improvement now, Darren.
3 of those last 5 starts right there at the bottom have been here at home. A.J. Hinch describes the difference with John Garland.
He's really taken accountability for executing a game plan. He's tweaked his mechanics enough to, which isn't a major overhaul. I mean, this guy's been doing it in this league for a long time. So he just tweaked his delivery enough to produce the results at the plate when the ball goes over the plate a little bit more often. And but I think there's a mental edge to him. I think he's well aware that he can pitch better than he did the first half of the first half.
And, of course, we will continue to talk starting pitching. When we talk starting pitching, we're talking about yesterday's starting pitching. Dan Herron was dynamic. Now, are you the starter in Major League Baseball's All-Star Game? Todd Walsh takes a jump back to last night as we jump forward against the Marlins.
Hopefully I represent them well and represent the Arizona Diamondbacks well.
Does it matter if you start or not?
Oh, no, I just want to pitch in the game. I've actually never pitched in that stadium, so just getting out there will be nice.
Southwest Airlines, they're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It is on.
You remember when you got your first uniform in Little League? Do you remember imagining a moment like that? Dan Hare and Justin Upton getting their all-star jerseys presented to them by Derek Hall moments ago here at Chase Field. Todd Walsh, welcome back as we continue to march on towards first pitch here tonight, Game 3 of the series, Marlins and the Diamondbacks. And as I said in the telecast last night, and I've said all year, you know, the one good thing about Dan Hare is that he not only understands the moment, but he appreciates the moment. And I'm talking about moments like being selected to and playing in all-star games. I had a chance to talk to him about that subject last night here on Fox Sports Ozone.
Well, it means a lot to me, but I mean, honestly, I feel like it means more to my family. And you know, I made my debut there in 2003 with my family there, and I'll have them again there when I take them out at the New Busch Stadium. So, you know, hopefully I represent them well and represent the Arizona Diamondbacks well.
Does it matter if you start or not?
Oh, no, I just want to pitch in the game. I've actually never pitched in that stadium, so just getting out there will be nice.
Be nice to see him start, wouldn't it? Hey, it's Saturday night. Diamondbacks have scored 15 runs in 2 games. And they keep it rolling? We'll find out together. In a matter of moments, D-backs Marlins, Sutton Grace, right around the corner.
Marlins is Freddie Gonzalez, and it's done a lot with a little, simply put, and a very little amount of fan-supported ball games. His club right in the thick of things, though. It's Coughlin, it's Bonifacio, Hanley, Ramirez starting shortstop at the All-Star game. Cantu, Hermida, Ugla, Cody Ross, John Baker is rolling, and Sean West is tall. John Garland on the mound, tall enough as well, 6 feet 6 inches. And as we said in the open, pitching better of late and better at home, I should say, of late.
I think he's gotten over that proverbial mental hurdle. He didn't like pitching here with the roof open. Thought the ball carried a little too well. Then he's settled down and thrown the ball much better in his last 3 starts. And let's see if he can continue this role, Darren Sutton.
We're underway here on a Saturday night at Chase Field. The boys down below wearing their Saturday black jerseys.
I love that.
That one is low. A sinking fastball, 2-0 the count. You see, the thing about Chase Field, it certainly is a hitter's ballpark, and it always has been. But it has this funny thing of producing Cy Young Award winners. As that one goes to right field, Justin Upton surrounds it. He's got it all around, and he makes the play for the out. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense for the Diamondbacks with Upton in right, Parra, CY. Then it's Reynolds, Drew, Lopez, and TC. Miguel Montero works with John Garland.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You know, for such a hitter's ballpark, there sure have been an awful lot of good pitchers here. So, not buying it.
There have been some good pitchers, and there have been, well, you can almost call it a Cy Young factory here at Chase Field.
Randy Johnson,
99,
obviously.
yeah, 2000, 2001, he won it. Won it all 4 years, and then in 02, Curt Schilling finished second in 01 and 02. Randy on a team that lost 111 games, finished second. By the way, he'd be one of the front runners right now if the award were to be handed out, along with Tim Lincecum.
Let's not forget Brandon Webb.
Oh, in 06, 7, and 8, he finished first or second.
So, pitcher's ballpark. Definitely. Just look at the numbers.
Definitely a hitter's ballpark. There's a good-looking changeup. 1-2 the count.
Nice change up there, right over the top of it goes Bonifacio, way out in front.
But you just have to be more aware, execute your pitches more. Breaking ball, it's a ground ball. That's Tony Clark. TC to the bag, and in time for the out. Bonifacio is erased.
Shortstop number 2, Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley Ramirez is hitting .347, 14 homers, and he's missed some time of late. And he has 60 runs batted in. You ask yourself, if you're watching at home, if you're watching us for the first time of this series, are you sure those are shortstop numbers?
Those are more MVP type numbers. Big dude, too. You stand next to him, you realize.
Oh, you bet.
He's not. You know, a lot of Diamondback fans have come to get used to Stephen Drew, Tony Womack here, shortstop for years. I mean, this kid is a giant shortstop. He reminds me more of Cal Ripken size.
Got some running gloves in his back pocket. Big dude with a big resume. And a very good one. Hard to argue with that. And when the fans pick you as a starting shortstop in the All-Star game, you're not hiding in Miami anymore.
No, it's not those 200 people a night that come to the game. It's a lot more than that voting for Hanley Ramirez. I'm glad to see the fans got it right and continue to get it right with this kid.
2-1 the count. That pitch is in, 3-1.
And also, he's one of those guys, if you do walk him, when he's healthy, he can steal 50 bases a year as well. So it's just a lethal duo of power, speed.
Bouncing ball to the right side, base hit right field. Hanley Ramirez in his early 20s, like Justin Upton in his early 20s, yet both are all-stars and both are expected to carry their team. Hanley says that just comes with the territory.
Sometimes good because, you know, when you got a lot of people looking forward to see you, that gets you to work harder. And I think he been doing that. It's why he's one of the best players in the game, because he's like to work, and when he's on the field, he knows his responsibility, what he got to do.
Does very well with the English language. Speaking of Justin's responsibilities, that people come to watch him play. He turned it on Justin, though. I wanted him to talk about the two of them together.
Just a quiet superstar. Much more comfortable talking about others than talking about himself. Lots of people crow about that kid, too.
And they'll both be in St. Louis.
I'm going to go out on a limb this year, Darren Sutton. National League's going to win the All-Star game this year.
Wouldn't that be great?
They're going to win the All-Star game this year. And I know you've been riding the American League train.
Huge fan. I've been moping around the last decade. I just decided to jump to the other side.
I'm going to say big upset this year. The National League is going to win the All-Star game. And the MVP, and I'm not going to say the obvious.
That one is in. I'd like to know who the MVP is going to be.
Well, my guess, it's going to be Chase Utley.
Oh.
It's going to be Chase Utley of the Philadelphia Phillies. He's going to be the MVP of the All-Star game in a National League victory.
National League hasn't won an All-Star game since 1996. Veterans Stadium. There was one tie game, as we know about. Otherwise, it's been all American League. Chase Utley as the MVP. Does that disappoint you?
No, not at all. I love it. Because I'm a National League guy, you know.
I mean, the National League showing. Does that disappoint you?
Yeah.
Last decade.
Definitely.
That gentleman excited to attend the game this year in Yankee Stadium. And his jersey on, he'll be headed there, Gracie. Dan Herron.
That's awesome.
Going to Yankee Stadium.
Well, that's last year, of course. That's still big league, though.
That's right.
I'll bet you that's the jersey, too, that Dan wore. That's probably game worn. I said, Dan, you know, he's a giving guy.
That one is rolled foul. You guys jump on in here. You folks at home. Our Wet and Wild text poll. Who will win the All-Star game? Do you agree with Mark Grace and say that the National League will win it? Or do you agree with all the fans of the American League and think that they will win it? 12 in a row. Text to 74499. Text A or B. Who will win the All-Star game? A changeup way up in the zone. Didn't want it there, but when it's a strikeout, you love it. 7, those two guys right in the heart, haven't done much at all. And they've gotten a lot of help by guys like that. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Tony Clark, Chris Young, John Garland at the bottom. It's a big fella here. 6 feet 8 inches tall. Shreveport, Louisiana, Sean West.
Hard throwing left-hander. Boom. Here it comes. Got to make him throw strikes. 25 walks in 50 innings, so got to be patient. He'll eventually give you something good to hit.
We talked about West at 6 feet 8 inches tall. He followed up the diminutive Ricky Nolasco, who pitched last night. Ricky, a little guy.
At 6'3"?
Just in comparison to his mates, Ricky, almost a member of the Lollipop Guild. Just a tiny guy. That's into center field. Base hit for Felipe Lopez. You see, Ricky Nolasco stands in the middle, surrounded by his bodyguards.
Shortstop number 6, Stephen Drew.
Big boys in that rotation.
I'll tell you what, there's some serious size. And then tomorrow, All-Star Josh Johnson gonna. Not only is he 6'7", but he's huge. I mean, he's a big boy. All these guys, they all throw hard.
Here's Stephen Drew. Strike over the outside. On the charts, getting set. Guys are all going to get together. It's an earlier start here, 5 o'clock. They're going to all go shopping at the Big and Tall shop for their All-Star break. Get some Hawaiian shirts. Stephen Drew broke his bat. Diving play by Ugla. They get the lead runner. Dan Ugla was an All-Star last year. That's a play worthy, certainly, of remembrance.
Well, that had first and third written all over it, but Dan Ugla says, nope, I'm going to make a great dive with the left. Spirit, and a nice play by Ramirez hanging on to the baseball somehow. Whoa, what a super play. Didn't even catch it in the glove, caught it on the glove.
Had a baby Uggs, you could read it. Yeah, use the backside of the glove. So he gives Stephen Drew the business. Guy he played with in the minor leagues. Take that, Stephen. Stephen responded, they call me dirt. That was all he said.
That's a lot for him to say.
We like to call that an outburst.
And a very few words, Stephen Drew.
All-Star Justin Upton. Now, this is the portion of the lineup where a couple of guys that one's an All-Star, one was an All-Star candidate, are getting picked up by everybody else. They have won 6 of their last 7, and that's fine, too. That's team baseball. They've won 6 of their last 7. Justin, 4 for 27 during that time. Mark Reynolds, 4 for 27. Exactly the same during that time.
And that's kind of been the case for Justin in his struggles here in the last week. Is been a little tardy on the fastballs. There was a 2-0 fastball right there from Wes. And Justin was beaten by it. Went right down the middle, belt high with a fastball, and got it past him again.
2-2 the count. You saw a moment ago the cleanup crew. Guys that have come behind the big names, behind the stars. Gerardo Parra, Miguel Montero, Alex Romero. Two. Hot shot. There's your base hit, folks. Back to what you like to see, using the center of the diamond and one of those hard to describe rocket ground balls.
That'll make him feel better about things. Another fastball. It didn't beat him that time. That ball was smashed right back up the box. No diving play this time. Henry Ramirez can't get to it. So first and second with one out. And Mark Reynolds now with an opportunity. Low Bundy and Justin yucking it up a bit.
Good to see you back here, young man. I missed you. Now another 4 for 27, while his team has been busy winning 6 of 7. They both have homered twice during that time as well. 1-0 the count to Mark Reynolds. Florida Marlins got into town, stunned that Mark Reynolds wouldn't in fact win the vote because they'd vote for him.
He was a one-man gang down in that 7-game series in Florida earlier this year.
Pitches in. 2-0 the count. It's very Southern League style, you know, to have a 7-game series. Just go town to town and just settle in for a while.
Barnstorm, yeah.
See some of the windows pulling some light into the ballpark. You got a good chance. Two and 1 the count. Went right down the heart on 2-0.
Right down the heart, 2-0, and that time he beat Mark Reynolds with it. So West throwing in the low 90s, but looks like there's a little extra zip on it. You're going to have to turn it up a notch if you're Mark Reynolds and the boys.
Couple of runners on. The 2-1. Right back to the screen again, right there.
Another one, bell tie down the middle. Mark Reynolds was right on it, fouled it straight back.
Much better against lefties. Justin Tube much better against lefties. Skipper Freddie Gonzalez managing a team that's going to be playing meaningful games, one would imagine, for the rest of the year. The 2-2. Pitch is high.
There's an attempted change-up or split finger there, and you can tell that is by far his third best pitch.
Full count, 1 out. After the poor changeup, young man rocks and fires. He walked it. So now Miguel Montero with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Catcher number 26, Miguel Montero.
That was yesterday. .268, 5 homers, 17 runs batted in. Slugging .410. This would be a nice challenge for Montero, Gracie, in his situations like this at times, not of late, but at times will overswing. And what you need, baseline anyway, is a fly ball.
Nice and short and sweet. Got a good fastball to hit there from West, but fouled it off. Miguel's hit the ball well against lefties in his career, though. Got another fastball right down the middle. Same result. Shanked off to the left. It's just like that, 0-2.
This, of course, the 10-year anniversary of the J. Bell $1 million Grand Slam. The Hoyle family. He's in the hole 0-2, and lefties have locked him up this year, hitting only .200 against southpaws. He belts that one deep right field to the corner. It goes, stays in the yard, now gets up and over the wall for a ground rule double. No balls, 2 strikes, fat pitch. 2-0.
quick runs for the Diamondbacks. Boy, just continue here on this homestand to take the lead, take early leads, get ahead, makes life easier for your starting pitcher. Mark Wiley going to have another visit on the mound. He's made a few trips in this series.
He was not catching up with the good fastball. Not even close. He sped up his bat and he left it right out over the plate.
Miguel Montero continues to impress here since he's been put into the everyday role as a catcher. Just the injury to Chris Snyder. It's Chris Snyder bobblehead night, by the way. So you might as well have the catcher have a big day.
Bouncing ball to his left. That is an RBI for Gerardo Parra.
That's all it takes right there. Just a little ground ball up the middle. Gerardo Parra continues to drive in runs. 29 RBIs in just the short time he's been up here.
Montero moves to third. Parra 6 for his last 11 with runners in scoring position, but 7 RBIs. Montero, by the way, 7 for his last 18 after that hit. As Tony Clark pops that one into the seats. Back-to-back nights with a 7-0 lead. It's now a 3-0 lead. Of course, you remember 2 days ago they managed to not win a game when they led 7-0, as that one is high. The Dan Herron factor played loud and clear when the Marlins were down 7-0.
It's a little bit different 7-0 with your ace as that skied to center field. What a good start to the ball game, and a nice little cushion for John Garland to take out to the top of the second.
You know, we can do a lot of positive things. I think we can, can get back to, respecting ourselves and developing, being respected around the league for the team that we should be. I will never, cash this season in and stop believing that better things can happen. So my second half goal is to gain the momentum that we have now and continue it into more productive, more consistent baseball.
A.J. Hinch speaking before the game about second half goals. We can reestablish respect for ourselves and earning respect around the league. That was very telling. because there have been many moments here in the first half when that wasn't the case.
No question. The Diamondbacks had some games where, well, they were the butt of a lot of jokes. They were being laughed at. They were being ridiculed, not only by the locals, but the national media. Lots of people.
That's Jeremy Armida with a base hit.
Slowly but surely, you keep winning baseball games. Well, the joke will be on the others. It's always a nice position, Darren, to be the laugher, not the laughy.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
And I was on some bad teams. I was on some teams that were ridiculed. And I was also on some really terrific teams out here in Arizona. Boy, was that a lot more fun.
Not like being part of a great team in a championship.
Yeah, and kind of throwing some neeners the other way. Instead of always having them shipped your way.
1-0 the count to Dan Uggla. Uggla bouncing ball, couple of base hits back to back. Here at home, Dan Herron, a 7.15 ERA. He's pitched better of late. On the road, it's a 2.47. Our key to the game, brought to you by Arrowhead, Brown & Brown, and Superstition Springs. Hickory High Gym equals Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Okay, I think we're going back to one of my favorite movies of all time, and that would be Hoosiers.
You're correct.
The Hickory High Gym. Is that when? What's the actor? The coach? Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman had to measure the basket. Is it 10 foot high? Why, yes, sir, it is. Okay. Now come measure to the free throw line. Is it 15 feet? Well, yes, sir, it is. He says, see, this is I know we're in Indianapolis, but yet the baskets are still the same. The free throw lines are still the same. Now, I'd love to have you tie in the rest, because that's about as far as I can go.
Now, it got intimidating for those young players when they walked into.
They were in awe, yes.
Hinkle Fieldhouse. They were a bit overwhelmed. They felt like they couldn't succeed in Hinkle Fieldhouse. Well, 60 feet 6 inches away, 10.5 inches high, and in diameter about 18 feet. All mounds have sizes and regulations exactly the same.
Okay.
The mound is the same here as it is in Los Angeles or Oakland. They're working off the same mound.
Right.
Just like those young players overcame their fears of playing on the big stage in Hinkle Fieldhouse, John Garland starting to overcome his in this ballpark, which really beat him up early in the season.
I gotcha. Like Chase Field's, the bases are 90 feet apart at Chase Field, just like maybe in Boston.
That's exactly right.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
And so as Hickory went on to beat South Bend Central High.
Yes, they did.
John Garland's last 3 starts have been better here at home. He's starting to embrace it, understand that he can succeed, like Gene Hackman's team.
Hinkle Fieldhouse,
the modern day home of the Butler Bulldogs.
Is it?
College basketball team. Still exists. What a building.
Old building?
Really old building.
Hickory High Gym?
The Hickory High Gym, never been there.
Oh.
2-2 the count. That one is fouled straight back. Yeah,
that's good, Darren. That's good. I like that one.
Well, we had a little help.
Who did we get help from?
Scott here in Arizona. Scott Foila, or Folis, however you say his last name, basically was talking about John Garland needs to, in his mind, be pitching on the road. So we took it, of course, and spun it the way I wanted to do it, because I'm such a control freak. Said Hinkle Fieldhouse, Hickory Gym. And I knew
Great
you'd
movie.
love it. I knew you loved the movie.
Great movie. Good night.
Wow. Ross with a little bat flip there after a strikeout. Don't see that very often.
John Garland will
John Baker.
have himself a grilled hunk of fish. And he will have some sauteed Ross.
Wow.
And we're here for the fish fry. Go D-backs. Man, a lot of fish humor tonight on the signs. That's big league.
Here's John Baker. That one bounces in there. Nice job by Montero on a changeup. Of course, John Baker, his teammates call him John Baker, the hit streak maker.
You know what? I've heard about that, but until you solidified it right there, the hit streak maker, huh?
They've always called him that, but lately he's been able to live up to it, owning a 7-game hit streak.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Small one for the hit streak maker.
Of course, it's one shy of his career high, hitting .407 during that time. But we thank all our folks contributing, coming up with ideas for the key to the game, visiting on Twitter. D-backs booth. Change up and a dandy. Goes that pitch 1-0 a lot to left-handed hitters. Couple of. Hello?
That's all right. That's why we have cough buttons.
Couple of guys with 7-game hitting streaks there. Montero and Baker. Bouncing ball. Felipe gets one on first. Double play. John Baker.
The double playmaker.
Thank you very much. Receive a D-backs visor. Get tickets today by calling 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com. It's a pirate. 1-0 the count to Young. Of course, the Chris Snyder bobblehead given away.
Did you get the one with or without the mask?
Well, they all have masks.
Because unfortunately, I wanted the one without, but I got the one with the mask. So really, so you can't see his face. I mean, he's going to have the mask on.
You can just take the mask off, and then you can see it.
Can you really?
Kind of like real life.
Right on.
Like right there, or even on the team plane, Chris doesn't wear the mask. The 1-2.
Well, that's very true. Never really thought of it that way. But only on the team plane. Sleeps with it on.
Now, outside of playing in an actual game, or nice. Look at there it goes again. Popped up to the right side. It's a base hit for Young. Now a collision between a couple of Marlins. Ugla and Armida. You got shattered bats flying back at pitchers. What a disastrous play on what should have been a popped-up fly ball.
Well, unfortunately, Chris Young uses a maple bat. And Sean West nearly got decapitated. Goodness gracious.
Now batting.
And then out here, well, they just got a little haywire between Ugla and Hermida. Wow. Those two big old boys colliding right there. So that'll go as a leadoff double for Chris Young. Fortunately, everybody is okay. Get rid of those maple bats, please. Dangerous.
Garland pops up the bunt. There to make the play is the catcher John Baker. So Garland still without a sacrifice bunt this season. 2 for 33.
Lambo back to the bat track with an unsuccessful sacrifice.
Felipe Lopez, 7 for his last 15 with runners in scoring position. Oh, and 1 the count. Over the outside last night, Felipe leaning on another one.
Lasdier's going to start opening up.
It was a curveball. Funny enough, it was immediately after another curveball was thrown, looked low, and was called a strike. He was ready the second time. Is Cody Ross. Felipe is erased. 68 million fans voted for the All-Star game. 68 million, a record amount of fans voting to get a guy like Mark Reynolds into the All-Star game. How about some voices being heard about this? I mean, what's it going to take? Is it going to take maybe
somebody to be maimed or even killed by one of those dangerous, lethal weapons that come back usually at pitchers? Pitchers are usually the ones that, but sometimes they go into the stands, sometimes they go right at a guy on deck. Somebody's going to have to get really maimed or even killed for our fearless leaders to make a choice about these maple bats that are just, unfortunately, someday it's going to happen.
Our leaders who get so many things right. Just as scary. For some reason, Gracie, you always talk about it. You held a bat in your hands for your job. I can't relate, but standing, for some reason, that replay struck me as much as any we've had. Because one tip here, one tip there, and it's sticking in his arm or in his leg.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, what could be worse would be, remember, your dad played with a guy in Los Angeles that took a broken bat right in the neck, right in the throat. Steve Yeager.
I was at the game.
And
clearly remember it.
And because of that, as that one's drilled foul, because of that, catcher's masks come way down now to protect the neck area. They used to come right to the chin and the chin only. Now, you ever see those things that almost look like a tongue hanging down from a...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like that plastic
right
piece right there. That's all because Steve Yeager got hit by a broken bat and nearly lost his life, nearly lost his career. Now, it's going to take something like that, unfortunately, to get rid of those doggone maple bats.
Well, let's hope not.
Players love them because they're supposed to be quote unquote a harder wood. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute.
That's why I kick it over to you. As I said before, you held one very successfully and used one for a living your whole career. 3-2 the count.
You hit it good, it'll go out of the ballpark. You hit it hard, it'll be a base hit. If you don't, it won't. Ash bats, folks. All you kids out there, if you're not using aluminum, use ash wood, please.
Runner at second. 3-2. Back to the screen it goes.
And I'm not picking on Chris Young. Chris Young's one of hundreds of guys that use maple bats.
Old school.
Maybe we can just have a big bonfire or something. Just put them all in there. Like a Texas A&M football rally.
Pitches away. I love it. I love it. Drew has been on twice. We're going to have vendors and sell T-shirts.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be leading the charge. I'll strike the match.
Have hot dogs and snacks.
Yeah.
Even have some cold beer available.
I would love that. Maybe you can MC it.
I'll MC it. That's what I do. Tell boring and terrible stories, but then when the fire gets going, the night will pick up.
Sing songs, kumbaya. That'll be big one.
Justin Upton starting to come on back. Come on down, they say to Chris Young. To the plate, not in time. Justin with an RBI, his 51st on the year. He is 2 for 2 this evening. Remember, he had 4 hits in his last 27 at-bats.
Well, Justin Upton just does a beautiful job with this pitch. Lets it travel, lets it get deep. A lot like Andrew Jones. And then just drills it to right field. For me, it has a very good arm. Makes a good throw to the plate, but too much speed from Chris Young. Stephen Drew going all the way as well. Gets to third base.
Great piece of hitting for Upton. Not a bit like Andrew Jones, but good to see his 51st RBI of the year. And here's Mark Reynolds. Changeup, and he's shown that one a couple of times. Doesn't throw it with much conviction or success. Now, if you're a hitter, Gracie, and you see 3, 4, 5 of a certain pitch, and none of them are successful, can you really throw it out in your head?
You pretty much erase it and look for one pitch in one spot. If I'm Mark Reynolds, I'm looking for fastballs, every pitch right down the middle. Anything else I let pass like that.
Fair enough. He got it, and he attacked. You just missed it.
I mean, he's a youngster, and he's got some command issues. As soon as he learns how to locate and control and use his off-speed stuff, this kid's going to be very, very good. He's already good. But that's the pitch right there that's keeping him in the big leagues, that good, hard fastball. And if I'm all these Diamondback hitters, look for fastballs down the middle. Anything else, if you see spin or you see anything different, just take it.
The 1-2.
And of course he takes it. Strike. Yep.
Perfect pitch.
I'm always right, Darren. I told you could locate.
Upton with an RBI.
30-something degrees outside, we would take a moment to talk about the great sport of hockey, okay? We're hanging out in the suites, and this is a familiar face if you're a Phoenix Coyotes fan. This is the general manager of the Phoenix Coyotes, Don Maloney. And Don, I know you had an open house today over at Jobbing.com Arena, and you just completed your prospect camp. So who are these guys, and what did you put them through this week?
Well, they're all the best of the best, we hope. You know, they're all our top players and top picks, including this past draft's first and second round picks. So we're excited to be in Phoenix talking hockey and enjoying the game, because it's a great game with a good crowd. Last game you were at Yankee Stadium, Roger Clemens, right? Yeah, that was the last time I was there, was when he originally came back the first time. And but this stadium is beautiful. It's gorgeous, great setting, and it's always good when the home team gets up a few runs. Yeah, you're not no kidding. Don, this obviously isn't the time or place to talk about the drama of the ownership situation with the Coyotes, but for your intents and purposes on the hockey side, it was full speed ahead, I know. Can you just characterize for Coyote fans what you did around the draft and the players that you brought in? What was the goal and the mindset? Well, we again, we're building with youth and speed, and so we, regarding the ownership, it really didn't affect my job. I mean, through May and June, for the most part, nobody gets signed. You work on planning for the next year, but certainly by the end of June, free agency period started July 1st. I agreed on a budget with the league and Representative Mr. Moyes, and we forge ahead. Our future is this group right here, and the younger players, the Muellers and Bodkers and Tikhonovs and Hansels and that group, and we have a great core group with Shane Doan and Ed Jovanovski and Brizgalov and on and on. So we're, as much as you might have a hard time, I'm excited about this season. I think our young players are going to be better. We signed a few free agents that I think are going to fit needs, so we're going to continue to move forward. Well, I'll tell you what, Don, there's out in the deep left field. I say this from the bottom of my heart, and I know I speak for all the Coyote fans out there that have a vested interest and have, thought long and hard about the events of the summer. I hope to see you soon at Jobbing.com Arena watching the National Hockey League and the Phoenix Coyotes. Well, thanks for having us. Don Maloney, guys, one of the good guys in the National Hockey League. Well, they're all good guys in the National Hockey League, Darren, as I've told you 1,000 times. I've got to go on a road trip with you guys. Yes, you do. By the way, the old goalie that's sitting next to us here over in the corner is not a prospect. That's Sean Burke. Is that my boy Burkey? He's part of the management team now. He's not trying to come back. Welcome to retirement, Sean. That's right. You're going to love it, pal.
Beautiful bunt by Bonifacio. Look at it creeping up the line. Base hit. And by the way, as you followed that ball, he had past first base about 20 seconds before the ball rolled to a complete stop.
Oh, a guy with this guy's speed drops down a blueprint of a bunt right that. Boy, you just got to say a few Hail Marys and hope it goes to the left of the line. It never does. Just a beautiful bunt there by Emilio.
That is the first base hit in the big leagues for Sean West.
Usually they'll take the real ball, put it in a bag or something like that, and then take a batting practice ball, something like that, and they'll put congratulations, Sean West, first major league hit, and the date, whatever it is, and they'll have who it was off of, John Garland, and Garland will be misspelled, and it'll say June 11th instead of July, and just something like that. And then, hey, congratulations, here's your ball. As that was tapped to the left side. Nice play by Lawrence.
Just got Emilio Bonifacio. So just deface the baseball.
Deface the baseball, but it's a fake ball. Then they'll hand it to him and say congratulations. He'll look at, whoa, wait a minute. And he thinks it's... But then he'll be presented with the real one later. Nice play to his left by Mark Reynolds, and a big out there off the bat of Hanley Ramirez.
Doing some research. How do you spell Garland?
That's off. See, he's going to find a way to mess with it. Nah, I think that looks like the real one, actually.
I can't tell, though. You may start it, then he may pass around. I don't know if that's a real one or not. He is checking to see if John is John or Jon. So I'm not sure, Grace, if this is the mock ball.
No, I think this. I don't think it looks to me like that's a no fun allowed dugout.
Just keep it serious.
Yep, keep it serious. No laughing, no having a good time. Wow, it's a fancy pen holder. Oh, no fun. That's not
to the right side. Yeah, it's fun for the visiting team. Upton uncorks to third, way off the mark. In some way, somehow, Cantu still stays put. But he does pick up an RBI, his 52nd of the year. Poor throw by Upton, timely hitting by Cantu.
Well, fastball down the middle, ripped. And this is one where if you're Justin Upton, just go ahead and let him go to third base. You don't need to make the heroic play. And he threw that ball a good 50 feet to the right of third base. Just go ahead and let him go, get it back in. Don't risk an error or a free extra 90 feet.
And West scores. They'll give him that ball later.
Well, that's a big man with a baby face, isn't it?
He is. Sean West, 23 years old. Change up over the inside corner to Hermida. It's just me, but if that is the serious labeling of the ball, and I can't tell if that one is being passed around and defaced. I don't think it is. As time is called, just me, I'd like to label my own ball. You can just give me the ball. Thanks for looking after it. I'll label it.
But that's not the tradition. The tradition is either the clubhouse guy or the trainer or somebody like that does it.
The defaced one.
And the real one.
And the real one?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it.
Don't like it?
No.
You want to be in control of your own baseball.
That's exactly right.
Well, you said you're a control freak.
Change up, 1-2 the count.
So you belong right in that Marlin dugout, in the no fun allowed dugout.
I don't like fun at all.
I've noticed that over the last couple 3 years. No fun allowed. Give Darren his pen, his ball, and he'll just go home.
We tried to send our young ball boy over to see if he'd hold it up one more time, and he wouldn't do it.
No?
Nope. 1-2 the count.
Please?
There it is.
First hit off a. Good reason to not like them.
There it is. He's got it now.
He spelled it right, huh? Nope, can't have it. Beat it.
2-2 the count. 4-1 the score, and Hermida, who singled back in the second inning, trying to change his ball game for good. Marlin trying to get his team back in the dugout. See if we can throw a ground ball here. Get that third out. That one instead is belted deep right field, hugging the line, foul. Deep, but foul up into the seats, up into the redhead section. Not a redhead's night tonight, but that's where they sit.
Hermida's put some good passes on the baseball here in this series. Come on, a little more left, please. Bummer.
So we'll do it again, 2-2. Three and 2 the count.
Well, do you think he's coming back with the changeup after the fastball in, Darren? I think he is. I think he's coming with the changeup here. John Garland has gotten a couple swings and misses on his changeup with Hermida. Let's see if he throws it again. He did.
You called it, Mark Grace. A dandy. A whale of a pitch to a slugger, Jeremy Hermida, but with the baseball earlier. They have a nice Mark Reynolds jersey, our designated voter. We appreciate that. Just about accrued enough credit for another jersey. As the count is 0-1. There's that youthful looking face you were speaking of. And there's a hard hit ball. This one sneaks through. And Ugla, who took a base hit away earlier in the ball game. Montero's got a couple of hits and 2 RBIs.
That's what he's been doing just about every pitch he sees. It doesn't matter. He's banging it. That was a changeup. He hasn't thrown many good off-speed pitches tonight. Let's see if Gerardo Parra can find something up in the zone. Continue the Venezuelan roll, if you will.
Yeah, Parra's been a big part of it as well, winning 5 of 6 this club. 6 of 7 actually, and when you talk about winners of 6 of 7, he is 15 for his last 29. Over 500 during this run. We were mentioning Miguel Montero. His run though has gone on for about a month. Shoots that one down the line the other way. Well, here you stood, Mark Grace, as a younger hitter, left-handed hitter like this young man from the left side against a hard-throwing lefty. Probably a pretty nice challenge for a young hitter like this.
Hey, just look for something up in the zone, something you can handle. Just try to go right back up the middle with it. Don't try to do too much. Because if you try to pull a guy like this, you leave the outside corner. You're vulnerable to the outside corner. So you just keep that front shoulder locked in. Easier said than done. Just drive it right back up the box. Plus, when he's letting go of the ball, he's only about 40 feet from you. He's so doggone big.
6 feet 8 inches tall. Florida's #1 pick out of Shreveport, Louisiana in 2005. Outside.
It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. I like starting a runner right here, Darren Sutton. What do you think?
Yes.
Why not? Yeah, Miguel Montero. Not a base stealer, but you know what? You're just trying to stay out of a double play. I like sending the base runner here.
Stays put. It's a roller to the right side. It's a base hit. He says, I'm going to third anyway. The throw. Out. It is not in time. Did he go off the bag?
He did. Good call there by Laz Diaz. Montero. That's twice now we've seen Montero hook slide and come off the bag and be tagged out. It happened in San Diego earlier this year. I love the aggressiveness. You see the foot was in there, but he slid late. I love that right there. Just a late slide. He tried to hook around and off the bag he came.
Oh, you see Chip Hale's reaction. That told it very clearly.
Kirk Gibson, A.J. Hinch over there having a base running conversation. And I don't think that's a scolding. I don't think that's a scolding at all. I think they're loving it. You say, don't let that discourage you. You keep doing that. Montero's showing some speed there, too. Don't ever want to take away a player's aggressiveness.
It doesn't look like that's happening at all, as you said. First to third, you folks remember a couple of weekends ago we saw Mike Scioscia's team do it, well, it seemed like 25 times.
That's also in that situation. Also with Mike Scioscia's team, always sending the runners 3-2. 3-1, 3-2, send the runner every time. That's what Mike Scioscia does, and it puts that pressure. Sending the runner there, he's upstanding.
And instead, now the inning is over. Oh, baby. Was that a quick inning? Peanut butter sandwiches growing up.
Okay, so we get the gimme. Your father, Don Sutton.
The 1977 game in Yankee Stadium. That's one.
And I know one just because I had him for many, many years calling games in Chicago along with Harry Carey, Steve Stone.
Well, they did that with a lot of enjoyment too.
Wow, I guess 3 perfect innings doesn't get you an MVP, huh?
Very disappointing.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm done.
By the way, they are double checking in the truck because they're feeling some guilt that they might be wrong. Very interesting what's going on right now as the pitch is a high strike. Two and two the count. What do you folks at home think? Do you know? Breaking ball, fly ball, right field. Doesn't throw too many curveballs. Not many at all. That was one. We saw 2 in the at-bat. Dan Uggla flies out to right field. I think we have folks maybe need to hop on D-Bac's booth on Twitter and guess.
Twitter and guess?
Can help us out. I am told that in 1980, Steve Stone was the winning pitcher in the All-Star game at Dodger Stadium.
3 perfect innings.
And
didn't get the MVP.
He got the league MVP, which is even better. Oh, now you feel better.
Well, no, I'm done.
Good to see you've come around.
Nope.
You've been moping around here for the last 4 minutes.
Well, you know, you're right. I have.
I got a smile out of you. 0-2 the count.
I've had a tough day. But that's all right. I love you too, honey. Get another shot of that beautiful lady.
Make him
please.
feel better.
Make me feel better about myself. I've been moping around here all day.
See, people love you, Gracie.
Yeah.
Just not any of us.
She's got bad taste, but I love her too.
The 1-2.
Wow.
Rarely does his sinker, which is his fastball, get that much dive. It moves, but this is a lot.
John Baker.
Down and in and just eats up Cody Ross. It's a couple of strikeouts now for Cody Ross here. And John Garland off to a very good start. He'd love to get John Baker here and have Sean West lead off the next inning. He just continues to pump strikes.
The 0-1 is high. We've got a guest here on Twitter on D-backs booth. It's Kevin Gilkinson from Los Alamitos, California. Says Pedro Martinez.
Good to see Darren went to the computer.
I actually did. To the D-backs booth. Twitter. Brett Murdoch has a guess. He's from Glendale, out right here in the great state of Arizona, not California's Glendale. His guess is Greg Maddux. See? I'm just passing along guesses.
Oh, Darren, guess who just chimed in? Matt Williams. He's right next to us over in the radio booth with the governor.
But he can read the question right there on the monitor.
The question. He just sent over his guess. His guess was Atlee Hammaker. I'm sorry, Matt. He actually got pounded when he pitched.
Why in the world would he think that?
Well, just, you know, those giant days are just tough to let go sometimes. Matter of fact, it was because of Atlee Hammaker that Fred Lynn got the MVP in Chicago. So once again, Matty, you're incorrect on your guesses.
The 2-2. Have another guess here on the website.
What do you got?
Juan Marichal says Anthony Sharp.
Juan Marichal. Nice. So we got three of them. Don Sutton, Juan Marichal, and Pedro Martinez. Let's see it. Play by Mark Reynolds. They love you too. They love
when he won it. The Metrodome. Juan Marichal won his in Minnesota as well, says Kurt Zacher, our fine statistician and Minnesotan.
Up north here, eh?
Good looking breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Hasn't thrown many that have looked like that. That's solid. Pitch runs up and away. Justin Upton has 2 hits. Mark Reynolds has walked and scored a run. Chris Young has a double and a run scored. So they've all contributed. They've all at least scored 1 run. And they all share something else in common. They all were 4 for their last 27.
That's weird.
Exactly that number. Now, different games played with Young because he doesn't play
sat out of
exactly every day.
But still, winning 6 out of 7 without 3 of your main guys. He took a fastball right down Broadway. 3-2.
It's not as if he had a rocket shot. He had a broken bat pop up, and that one is in, and he earns himself a walk. Well, so far, what do you folks think with regard to our Wet and Wild text poll? Out in the sun in Wet and Wild.
Yes! Man, I love these D-back fans. They're feeling it with me, D. I know. You and the other 23% are still riding on that American League bandwagon. I mean, what does it take? 10 in a row to make you...
Joe Mauer.
He's so good. All right. Let's put our heads together, folks. Everybody give John Garland some love. Get him his first sacrifice of the season. Hadn't had one all year. Just jump right inside John Garland's body and get that bunt down. What do you say, folks? Square, square. There you go. Now, right towards the first baseman. You want to bunt this ball at the first baseman. He's holding the runner on, so he can't vacate the premises too early, because Chris Young can take off. So you want to bunt it to the first baseman, and you'll have a successful sacrifice. That didn't work out too well.
0-2.
Folks, you're not getting in his body. Come on. Focus, concentrate. Chip Hale just gave you the bunt sign at home. You saw it. You just got the bunt sign. Now you jump right in. Come on, Darren.
How about that? Uh-oh. Oh, did he baby that ball? I mean, babied it. Just like we talked about with intentional walks. Go ahead and throw it 80% like you're playing catch.
Second baseman,
What a good bunt with 2 strikes. Deads it nicely. Now he's off the races, and then, as you said, babied the throw. But a nice play over there at first base by Dan Ugla. I'm sorry, that was Jorge Cantu, the first baseman, getting back and making the play.
He took a look down at the grass, and his hands and the ball. Just wasn't a good throw, but a very good bunt. Looking to see Felipe Lopez driving the gap somewhere. Maybe up and over the wall off the hit it here sign. As that one is in. Not that pitch, not with that. Hit and win sign here in the 4th inning means that if Felipe or one of his mates hits it off that sign, George Boson will win $480,000.
Wow.
dbacks.com/hit and win is the website. Good luck during our Gila River Casinos hit and win inning. Of course, 10 years ago, a grand slam, Jay Bell, $1 million. Well, we're just about halfway to that number. That one,
there it is.
Center field. Actually, a can of corn for Cody Ross.
So close.
And there's 2 outs, wasn't it all? Here's Stephen Drew.
shortstop, Stephen Drew.
Oh, you're right.
Steven, fielder's choice and a run scored. He also walked in the middle of a 5-game hitting streak, has 6 hits and 3 walks during that time, so he's been on base 9 times in his last 5 games. And he is very conscientious of the environment. Popped up towards that roof. Plays made over there. Nice job by former Diamondback Emilio Bonifacio. Let's get it on out to the pool. Here is Todd Walsh. Todd, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Darren. A very interesting group of people out here. They're all part of the Diamondbacks Rewards Program. Of course, that is all about fries. And the spokesman for this group here today is Kate Safransky with her main man, Riley, here. Kate, you got to tell us about what you do when you go to Fry's and how you shop specifically.
Well, when we go to Fry's, we make sure that we're looking for the Diamondbacks Rewards tickets that are on all the items at Fry's.
And you've accumulated enough points to be here today. How many points did it take you to get here?
Well, for the pool suite, it's 600, but they have a lot of other prizes available also.
So, I mean, you've changed your whole shopping habits, haven't you, because of this program?
Yeah, actually I did. Riley was really, I want to sit in the pool suite, so we just go to Fry's now.
And how do you know? You walk in the store, and where does it take you? How do you get to these specific items?
Well, just when you're going up and down the aisles, you might see bottled water, for example, and one of them might be D-Backs Rewards, and 2 of them might not. So usually the prices are very competitive also.
How about Pop-Tarts Frosted Strawberry? Is that part of the program?
Probably.
Okay, I'm just checking, because that's usually where I go to the Pop-Tart aisle. And also, there's other great, goals for you. Like I've seen people go on trips with the Diamondbacks, etc.
Yeah, I think that's probably the ultimate prize.
The pool's not bad when it's 115 out.
No, it's great, actually.
All right. Well, and you've already built your account. It's back up. You deleted it here, and now where are you at?
We're back up to 250
You're
points.
on your way. You're on your way.
Nice.
Pop-Tarts. Many Pop-Tarts. It'll go right through the roof. Well, enjoy yourself. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks. Go D-Backs.
Go D-Backs.
Go Riley. That's a lot of Pop-Tarts, guys. But great program. A lot of people hanging out here. They've made their way to the pool because of the way that they shop.
Yeah, that's the way to go, Todd. Thank you. And they are great partners with Fox Sports Arizona and the Diamondbacks Fry's food stores, and that's a reward, I'll tell you. Talk about frequent flyer miles when you travel on different airlines. How about just for going and doing what you do anyway, buying food?
Exactly.
2-1. I know Mike at my Fry's is the best. I always stop by. That's where I go. Loyal Fry's customer. Mike takes care of me, lets me know if some of my favorite beverages might be on sale.
Always get a good deal on them.
3-1 the count. Thank you, Mike. Bouncing ball. Lopez erases Coughlin on a 4-3 ground. And a couple of outs on the ground. Drew and then Felipe Lopez. As you take a look at our Firestone leaderboard up top of your television set, the National League Eastern Division standings, these Marlins 3 back, and certainly plan on playing meaningful games. That's entering play today. Philadelphia is getting beat up by the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-3 in the 8th inning. Oh, 1 the count. A couple of teams proudly represented there, some expansion era teams. Both, by the way, have rings in their history. Boy, this is going to be tough. Mark Reynolds off balance. Unbelievable play by Reynolds. By the time he released that ball, he was, well, just about in the dugout where he is now. He just threw out from an awkward position maybe the fastest man in baseball. Justin Upton. Mark Reynolds. Get things going. Miguel Montero is due up as well. As we begin our Fry's discount inning. Alpha Fry's food store. As that one is bunted in the direction of the catcher to the backstop it goes.
Justin's had a couple of hits tonight driving in the gap. He's seeing the ball very well off Sean West today.
I think you subliminally mentioned something I wanted to say. Take that strength, that physical prowess for just a man who's 21, who has hit it off of Fridays off the Stadium Club in Milwaukee. Just drive it in the gap.
Couple of upper deck home runs in Florida.
Change up, now that's a pretty good one. It would have been a ball in all likelihood, but it was tempting the entire way in. 2-2 the count. That pitch is high.
3-2 count. I would imagine now he's just turned Sean West into a fastball pitchers? Well, he's just one. It's not plural.
Well, he's about as tall as two.
And he's going to drive Miguel.
So a bunt single. They call it a triple. Driving the gap.
I love it when these guys listen to us, Dan. I mean, this isn't guesswork up here, pal. This is you and I, with years under our belt, studying these guys, driving the gap. That's exactly what he does. Cody Ross, a great effort there, but once it skips by, it's a stand-up triple for Justin, who can fly. There's the great effort there by Cody Ross. But he comes up empty. Diamondbacks looking to add on.
Breaking ball, 0-1 the count. And the triple's starting to really pile up for the Diamondbacks. One and one the count. Mark Reynolds. Middle of the infield, they come in. And that pitch is low. 2-1 the count. Well, now the 4 for 27 club. It's closed for business. Been officially shut down. Everyone who was 4 for 27 contributing. That pitch is high, and the count is 3-1. Mark contributing. Justin contributing.
High strike. Another 3-2 count from Sean West. Let's see if Mark Reynolds can drive it in the gap. That's going to be ball 4.
Instead, he earns a walk. We told you this was our value inning. You may as well sponsored by Fry's. Some of these guys, Mark Grace, rarely do we talk about salaries on the air because during the actual game being played, it doesn't affect the game. But these guys are certainly over-earning their money and doing a fine job this year. Best value in the league, question mark? That's why we call it our Fry's graphic. These are all talented ball players.
I would imagine all those boys are going to be laughing all the way to the bank here pretty soon. How about Tim Lincecum? Think that kid's going to make any money? Right there in the middle is Kung Fu Panda. Your guy.
It is a nice early living for ball players. In real life, it's hard to even imagine on a day-to-day basis. But those are the numbers that man, those numbers are realities for him. But then you can earn an awful lot more. Pat Billingsley makes less than $500,000 a year. He's pretty good.
He's really good. Miguel Montero got a chance to up his ante here a little bit. Let's see if he can pick out another one from Sean West and extend this lead. Good pitch to the outside corner. The most popular Campbell soup in Hong Kong is watercress and duck gizzard.
1-6-0 for the Marlins. For the Diamondbacks, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors, as they both have stranded 4. That one popped up. Then it's a souvenir. Oh, what a great crowd tonight.
Loving it.
Good for you folks. Come on out and enjoy some baseball before the All-Star break. There is red everywhere. Good to see the boys in black are putting on a good show so far. Folks know the schedule. They also know that this club, after the All-Star break, spends some time away. So making time out to get out to the ballpark, staying cool. We hope to see you tomorrow as well. Why not? Final game of this series, 1:10 start time.
Got a day game tomorrow, and then Darren and I are off to the Salt River.
It's going to be a good time. Down to Rocky Point for a couple of days. AJ said he and his family going somewhere where it's a little bit cool. maybe up in the mountains. The 1-2. Didn't mean to. Lifts it to left field. Coughlin is there. Justin bluffing to the plate. Beautiful throw. Taking a look ahead at what's brewing. Now you have an all-star on the left. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. But you have a guy with very deceiving numbers on the right. When I speak of deceiving, as he faces the all-star, the win-loss record for Doug Davis.
You have two guys with a very low ERA. Opponent's only hitting .227 off Josh Johnson. There's the big fella. Really missed almost 2 years with an arm injury, Darren. But he is back and he is throwing bullets. I believe Ubaldo Jimenez and him are the two hardest throwers in the game. Is that correct?
Exactly right. Justin Verlander very close as well. So that's the kind of company Johnson is in. Roller to the right side. You don't want to come up there. And they don't.
Oh, the Diamondbacks just got a big break. Yeah, Mike Riley misses this one. Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out and have a talk. I mean, the Diamondbacks got a huge break here. Ugla over to Hanley Ramirez and the throw.
Wow.
Another RBI for Parra. Even West is like, you got to be kidding.
Break or not, as Gonzalez is frustrated. The Diamondbacks managed to add on, and something that you started to get concerned knowing what this Marlins club believes they can pull off after turning a 7-0 deficit into a 14-7 win a couple of nights ago.
Always got to add on. See if Tony Clark can get something going here. Looks like Sean West has a little bit of a phobia about throwing to first base. That's a telling graphic there.
That's the last time he won, by the way.
Goodness. Let's see when he's clearly out. But it's close. It was certainly close.
1-1 the count. Going to be interesting, the job that these guys do. Eric Cooper behind the plate, Mike Riley at first, Chuck Merriweather at second, Laz Diaz at third. A thankless job, there's no doubt about it. A very challenging job. And he claws into the base and into left field. Cheating a little bit, pulls the ball in the hole. But a base hit is nice. Tony 1 for 3.
Looks like Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out. He's got the hook with him as Tony Clark's going to run Sean West from this game.
So West is done. You thought? Well, it could be bad, and I mean real bad. Had a hard time for a few steps putting weight on it. Then the blood flow made it feel a little bit better, and the knee. Okay, and it's good to see him out here working. It scared all of us. Right-hander, sweeping slider, bouncing just fine on that knee. Scary stuff the other night, wasn't it?
Very shocked. I mean, that was a rocket he took off the bat of Gerardo Parra. Probably drinks a lot of milk, Darren Sutton. Get those bones healthy and strong.
Good place to pick up milk, by the way, is at Fry's.
Very, very true.
Have a lot of it there. It's cold.
Always in the refrigerated section.
The 1-1. Slider, and always good when you have a nice cold beverage to get a good snack. Like maybe, well, some tacos. 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day if they can get to 6 runs, these Diamondbacks.
So can you purchase a large milk?
Well, I would imagine you can negotiate. If that one is high. No restaurant in my mind would discourage milk. Maybe just a small one, a carton.
But can you get 3 cartons of milk?
Probably not 3.
Oh.
Kind of.
Man. So it has to be a soft drink.
I'm venturing down dangerous paths here, making business decisions for Taco Bell.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking.
3-2 the count, but
I need to know.
I can safely speak, I think, on behalf of one of my favorite restaurants in the whole world. There's one in my Fry's Center, right there by it, that they won't probably give you 3 milks along with your 3 tacos.
Oh, okay.
You might be able to negotiate, a milk and then 3 tacos, maybe.
A large milk.
That one is a fly ball to center field. Batten hop just fine. Thank you very much.
Drink your milk, kids. Whether you get tacos with it or not.
For the Diamondbacks behind John Garland, double play there, and Mark Reynolds. This is a good play. This is a fabulous play. Bonifacio run. And I'll tell you what, for Mark, kind of fun when you look at that last play, visually anyway, because he was, I'm not exaggerating, 2 steps from his dugout steps when he stopped running after making that play. Had to wait for his teammates just to not get too far ahead of him. I'll just go on in.
And this is great news for John Garland. Hanley Ramirez leading off. Diamondbacks doing a good job after a 3-run inning in the first, Darren. Add on in the second. Add another one in the fifth. Make Garland just that much more comfortable as he continues to cruise.
Last 5 starts have been good enough. Last 7 starts have been good enough for John Garland. That's a good-looking pitch. 1-1 the count. As Kurt Zach was pointing out in his pregame research, our statistician, his ERA in his last 7 starts, 3.6, nearly 7 innings per start. And he's 0-4. Hanley Ramirez, he's in the mind of John Garland, no doubt about that. Boy, can you hear mid pops and bat cracks in empty stadiums. I'm always reminded. It sounds like every pitcher is throwing 130, and every piece of contact's a homer.
That was a loud sound, wasn't it?
But his is loud anyway, no matter which ballpark it's in.
Ooh, didn't get strike 3 there from Eric Cooper, and he wanted it badly. Just a little bit outside, I guess.
A high, that's twice he has thrown him a changeup at the chest, and he's gotten foul balls out of both of them. He just hit that. I think he actually hit it through one of the vents up there in the upper deck.
Yep, go a little higher. Go a little higher. Way up there. Yep. That's where it went.
Bouncing ball, good pitch. Got it. Just got it. Slow and developing because he buried a fastball in. After a couple of soft ones, he got him out front.
First baseman
looking at maybe for another changeup. Now he buzzes him with a fastball in, and Stephen Drew ends up getting him by a half a step.
A lot of changeups, but it was the fastball that was the key in that attack. By the way, our Quest high-speed internet high-speed pitch, the lefty West has done. John Garland touching 92 miles an hour. His average fastball is about 90. Cut fastball there, 0-1 the count to Jorge Cantu. That one is away. Mark Grace, we have some new friends joining us on Twitter. Don't forget, you can join us on D-Backs booth on Twitter or Fox Sports AZ for some insiders news.
What we got?
Well, let's walk you through this at bat first.
Okay.
Beautiful good looking changeup. I don't know why this struck me as unique, but it does. Jan Warren, lovely lady, sends us, do you guys play racquetball? Would you be interested in a challenge from some geezers at Sun City West?
Really?
Yep.
Well, I haven't played racquetball in a long time. It's been since college. But, well, yeah. I'll take those ladies on.
Be a fun day of racquetball and friendship.
I think so. Out in Sun City, is it?
Yep, it says out there in Sun City West.
Glad to see they can make it to the ballpark to challenge us.
They challenged on the computer.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, that actually wasn't them. That was just representative.
Oh, okay.
The 2-2. Beautiful piece of hitting to the right side. A fastball, and Cantu goes the other way.
Hit that one like coming off an echelon.
Right fielder.
Like you hit it with a racquetball racket. Bang. Beautiful swing right there. Roll out.
The only thing that concerns me about the sport of racquetball, you remember Marlin and former Marlin, part of the broadcast team, Jeff Conine,
yeah,
world-class player.
He's a fabulous player.
Having watched Jeff play and having followed the sport, a lot of baseball players, especially maybe a generation back, baseball players, they played that sport a lot. That one is a strike. Just don't like when the ball gets hit off your leg.
It hurts. And I played with some guys that were just awful enough to whack you on purpose when they were behind you with it. They weren't aiming at the wall. Bang! Right off your back or your leg. Good cut fastball right there from Garland. Yeah, that hurt. So, are you up for the challenge, Dan?
Absolutely.
Take on a couple of geezers?
That's just a quote. Now, we're not saying that. That's a quote.
Well, that's what they said, right?
I understand. Just want to be careful. There's some great seniors that watch out there.
Well, no, I mean,
I know. I always like to remind. There are some sensitive people that send emails in. Again, we're just reading the note on Twitter.
Now, can you read it? So make sure I got that right. Can you read that over again?
Do you guys play racquetball, Jan says. Would you be interested in challenging in a challenge from some geezers from Sun City West?
Well, I love it when the glove gets removed and a slap across the face. Challenge me to a duel, especially by a geezer. Let's do it, Darren. What do you say? Let's take them on.
Could be something to do between our trip down the Salt River and Rocky Point over the break.
Yeah, we can stop out in Sun City on our way. Nice to have our plans made for the All-Star break.
0-2 the count. Change up is low. Dan tonight piecing together an outing that you hope will happen, because this right-hander, or John I should say, thinking about Dan Herron, what he did last night. It's a Freudian slip I'm glad to make in applying it to John Garland. The 1-2. Change up, fly ball, deep right, well struck. Young on the move, going back. Still going. He's got it.
This is going to be a double play.
Get it on back in there. 2 the hard way. What a play by Chris Young. And it's good to see, because for about a week and a half, he doesn't make this play on this baseball.
Yep, that's pretty cool. And then hit the cutoff man. One hop to Tony Clark. And that's a double play. And John Garland, yeah. That's a big-time play right there from Chris Young. Haven't seen that from him with after the groin injury, but boy, he ran that one down like a jackrabbit chasing him.
No, you haven't seen it, and that's what I wanted to touch on. Not only was the groin bothering him, it was causing him a slower gait, and he was becoming tentative. Baseball players will use the term alligator arming it, where you back that arm off when you get close to the wall. And that ties in with being tentative. And it's good to see as Badenhop throws a fastball that dives, and it's a strike. Again, we were sharing with John Garland before that play was made. And maybe, just maybe, with a long way to go, we don't want to pack the bats, as my college coach used to say. Maybe a night where he gets some breaks. Maybe a night where the ball is caught. Maybe a night where he gets some support. Because for him to go, as tough as it's been for his last 9 starts, for him and his team to be 1-8 in his last 9, with very well pitched games. Last time out, 6 innings, 3 runs. He didn't get the win. On July the 1st, he lost 1-0 in Cincinnati. Last 9 home starts. You can see what he has done this year at home. He's struggled mightily. His last 5 starts overall, winless. See that little note at the bottom? There you have it.
He hadn't had much from the fellas behind him. He's twirling a gem as we speak, another one. And the boys have gotten him 5 thus far.
Well, you keep pitching like John Garland is, and that phone right there in front of Josh Burns will start ringing a little bit more for John. Going to be interesting in the second half. Family night. That's wonderful. Look at that. Still doing business, though. This guy in the batter's box, I'm sure people are calling and asking about. Get young players like that young man a return. Get some youth.
Right now, he's all about that ice cream. I don't blame him.
Eddie helping him out with the Auburn shirt on. See that little logo there?
Oh. Auburn University, home of Darren Sutton. Nice pitch.
Boy, talk about a backdoor slide. Speaking of young, I guess as an age and also in last name, again, back on his horse. Having your legs under you or not.
It's a big difference between playing well and playing poorly.
You've told us about it, Gracie, even hitting. I mean, just to have any part of your leg, a hamstring injury, a knee injury, ankle, groin, not being able to. And I think those of us that have never hit at this level don't really understand what that means. Not having your legs under you.
That's where all your power comes from, your lower half. Everybody thinks you have to have strong wrists, strong arms, big old bulging biceps. And you got to be strong or equally strong from the belt buckle down. Pop those hips. We talked about that
with Stephen
Drew. Stephen Drew. One of the best I ever saw as far as their hips were concerned was Rafael Palmeiro. Remember Rafael Palmeiro?
Oh, absolutely.
I came up through the minor leagues with Rafael. And he could pop his hips. He wasn't a big, strong guy. He wasn't one of those guys that would ripping out of a shirt or anything. But boy, he'd pop his hips and the ball would just fly forever. So strong in his core area.
Bouncing ball, Hugla vacuums it up. The Diamondbacks with a packed house, smiling kids, smiling home team. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Mark Grace, Darren Sutton, Todd Walsh, glad to have you back here at Chase Field. A run on 7 hits and no errors for the visiting Florida Marlins. 5 runs, 9 hits and no errors for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Trying to get this man a victory. And oh, by the way, their team as well, and make it 7 of their last 8.
I'll tell you what, John Garland is well on his way to getting himself that victory. Yeah, he's had some help, but he is in the midst of really throwing a beauty. 6 innings, only 1 run, scattered 7 hits. Seems like he's been strike one on every hitter tonight. Of course, that's not the case, but just seems like it.
Given up 7 hits, but certainly has scattered them. We heard A.J. Hinch, his manager in the open, talking about that John has been very, very high on his list. As we take a look at good-looking family up there, high up in the seats. Of guys, going back to A.J.'s thoughts, of guys that are showing more and more accountability and preparation. And saying that he used the word edge, and that's a word that we like up here. Garland's had a little bit of an edge, he said, lately, and it's been physically and tweaking his mechanics a little bit, not leaving so many balls out over the wide of the plate, and mentally.
It just kind of makes you scratch your head sometimes, Darren, why it has to be that way. I guess even pros and pros that have had the great success that John Garland has had at the major league level, even sometimes they can get a little quote-unquote mentally lazy.
And I think maybe fried, too. I think when you're fried by a thing like a ballpark and pitching in a ballpark, which, whether it's skewed or not, because your perspective is your perspective, it can fry you. I think that's what was going on.
In frustration. Well, 0-2 turns into a walk to Dan Uggla.
A.J. Hinch before the game talking about what John Garland has done to improve lately.
He's really taken accountability for executing a game plan. He's tweaked his mechanics enough to, which isn't a major overhaul. I mean, this guy's been doing it in this league for a long time. So he just tweaked his delivery enough to produce the results at the plate when the ball goes over the plate a little bit more often. And but I think there's a mental edge to him. I think he's well aware that he can pitch better than he did the first half of the first half.
And trying to do just that. Big picture, the Diamondbacks starters, including tonight, in their last 13 games, have a 2.62 ERA.
That's tremendous.
Well, that's every starter. That's included a couple of struggling outings by that man. So he was good for a short period of time the other night. 5 shutouts, and the wheels came off in the 6th. I mean, the wheels really came off. Cody Ross flies that one into the seats. There's Yusmeiro. He is slated to get another chance, but I think it's a chance-by-chance basis with his struggles. Talking with fellow countryman Alex Romero.
Well, Alex Romero really playing well.
Good to see those two sitting there together.
Another big hit last night from Alex Romero. Just missed the outside corner.
And Petit for 5 innings was solid. 5 shutout innings. Just had a tough time in the 6th. There he is. Hopefully he'll have a new lease on life in the second half. You see Clay Zavada warming in the pen. With Yusmeiro looking on. Oh my goodness, a change up, and that's exactly the result you hope that it nets.
And Cody Ross strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. John Garland not really a strikeout guy per se. But don't tell that to Cody Ross. That's 3 times now that Garland's gotten him. 3 of the 5 strikeouts for Garland. And then Cody Ross, who's got 14 long balls and 49 RBIs, having a good year. Another changeup and another swing and miss. This time by John Baker and his teammates. What do they call him again?
Yeah, they call him the hit streak maker. He has been riding a 7-game hitting streak, and his career high is 8. Always called him that, but now he's able to live up to it. The 0-1. Bouncing ball. Tonight they've got a different name for him, though.
What is it?
John Baker.
The double play maker.
That's exactly right.
That's twice. 4, 6, 3.
They've been playing pretty well the last 7 of 8 games into the All-Star break and keep it going after the break.
Well, you sure hope so. They're swinging the bats very well right now. They're pitching very well. 20 runs in this series so far. That's a good start. Hopefully they can keep it going, and we'll talk more about it later as the rest of the season. We'll take a look at what's going to happen with the D-backs later on.
Digger has a scientific breakdown of the schedule in the second half. We'll see how it all plays out as John Garland poised to win his first game in over a month and a half, guys. We'll see you after the game.
Look forward to that. Look forward to talking baseball with you, Digger. As we
I'll tell you what, Digger sounded like he's on a mission. Oh, what a game, John Garland. Isn't it funny? Every time one of the starting pitchers is really dealing, seems like Max Scherzer's right there next to him. This time, John Garland.
What's wrong with that, though, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Great thing.
It's trying to learn. I like that. I like it a lot.
Bouncing ball to the right side again. Justin Upton with a base hit.
That's 4.
And he had 4 in his previous 27 at-bats.
He gets them in bunches, doesn't he?
Third baseman, Mark Reynolds.
There we go. Back up over 300. Nice catch there. His 3rd career 4-hit game, his 2nd of the year. The other, he had a 4-hit game on the 20th day of May at Florida. That's certainly the final post-game show of the first half. So stick around for that. We will look ahead to the second half.
It's about time for Mark Reynolds to homer, isn't it?
I'm ready.
It just seems like it's about that time. He hadn't homered in a while. Been stuck on 24 and 62 for a few games. Whoa, they say on all these throwovers.
That pitch is away. After the break, it's to St. Louis. And after the All-Star Game festivities wrap up, leading the Central, then the Rockies team, third in the West in that wild card race. And then back home, we'll see you here when Pennsylvania comes to town. Pirates and the Phillies, defending world champs. So we'll see all those great-looking logos on that good-looking graphic, and we'll see all those teams after the break, and you'll come with us. You'll fly around the country with us.
Darren, you seem to know all the bird names.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, very late call there for strike one.
Going to have an interesting show during that Pirate series, by the way. Behind the scenes and kind of going in the heads with Major League Baseball umpires.
I love that.
Some conversations with them that we will share with you. Belted down the line into the corner. But as Justin Upton races all around, he is stopped at third. Reynolds with a double. A two-bagger, not a four-bagger, but again, all the guys that were struggling, it's Mr. Upton, it's Mr. Reynolds, and it's Mr. Young, are having big nights in one way or another.
He's finally got a pitch up in the zone. Bang! Just lunches it down the right field line. Rattles off the wall. Coughlin gets it back in quickly, and Freddie Gonzalez is going to make a move.
Miguel Montero, who was doubled, singled, fly to left, will face a lefty. Now, he's done well tonight against the Southpaws.
Home run. Grand Slam in the sixth, and you're seeing her daughter, I think Eileen and her husband have taken a break from their seats behind home plate. A nice ovation for them a few moments ago as that moment was recognized here in the ballpark at Chase Field. But it's been remarkable to track this story over the last month.
You reunited them, correct, for those that might have missed it?
Yes. Jay Bell came to their home unannounced after we paid a visit for our show, the 10th inning. Didn't hesitate when we asked, hey, will you come over? He couldn't wait to talk to them. Couldn't wait to discuss it. We watched the inning at their house, and Jay said he had goosebumps seeing it all over again. If you saw the pregame show today, you saw the count full, 3-2, and Jay Bell swings at not one but two different pitches that would have been ball four in a tight game that would have scored a run.
Way out of the zone.
Way out of the zone, and he was doing one thing. He was trying to hit a home run, and he did.
Oh,
for $1 million.
What an incredible memory in the history of this franchise. And the best part about it, for me, not being there, reading about it obviously from afar, was the organic nature of a moment like that.
Oh yeah.
That's not really, you can't quantify that in stats books. That's not in Stats Inc. And yet a player said that's number one for me.
Number one.
Had to be.
It speaks to the fan and the player and the relationship.
If you've seen the features, you'll see it again on Sunday after the game tomorrow, but Steve Finley running to the top step of the dugout, grabbing Jay Bell and saying, you just won that lady $1 million. And the guys in the dugout just, it was a different feeling in the dugout. It wasn't about a grand slam. It was about somebody's life changing, and it did.
0-2 the count. Lefty on lefty. Montero bouncing ball off his glove. Can he find it? He does. And so the runners will have to stay put. And Miguel Montero against Raniel Pinto is erased. One away, tying the shoes, and their lifetime. For those again that might not, and we'll look forward to seeing the feature, that might not have seen it before or heard your conversations, it did change forever.
Yeah, I mean they were both working for a living. They still do, but they were a one-car family. First thing they did was buy another car, went to Disneyland, then bought some land. Took the annuity. They get, it was a $50,000 a year payout. If you're curious, $1 million after all that in taxes, you're talking about $335,000 or so. The first game she ever went to. Just happy to win free tickets from a radio station to take her kids to a game on a Sunday afternoon. That's, to me, is my favorite part of the whole story.
Yeah, got lucky enough to be the one to win the tickets.
Yeah.
Wow. The 0-1.
Have you ever been the person to call into the radio show and you were actually the right caller or whatever?
No.
And you won the... Not me. Not when I was a kid, and I used to call all the time.
I'm the other person that was on the other end of that phone for about 12 or 13 years, taking the ninth caller. The odds of her winning at KNIX at that time with an audience of about 350,000, if 1,000 people were calling to try and win those tickets, 1.5 million to 1.
Just the tickets.
Mm-hmm. The show
wasn't that before the days of call waiting too?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
like you were just always got the busy signal.
Yes.
You never got through.
It's stunning when you really look at it. And tomorrow, right after the game here at Fox Sports Arizona, we'll see the 10th inning again. It'll give you chills, make you pause and think.
I mean, how many times as a kid did you try to call into the radio, try to request Freebird?
Absolutely. Dream On, Aerosmith.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't get it. Try again. Until finally Mom came in and made you hang up the phone.
Out front again, you can catch that immediately after the game tomorrow, right here on Fox Sports Arizona.
By the way, I'd like to apologize to Mark because I can't tell you how many times somebody called me and asked me at KDKB in the afternoons to play Freebird, and I said, yeah, it's coming right up.
And it never would.
Well, no, it was like those vertical teases.
Oh, there's one of those Freebirds. Darren knows the name of those. Whoa. That is Steve Reich 3, Torrado Park. What was the name of that bird up on the...
Oh, a moment ago, I was stuck with Para deciding not to take off there on the strikeout. I think that's an American Kestrel.
American what?
Kestrel. Kestrel, yeah.
American Kestrel. Yeah, it just kind of looks like a sparrow to me.
Yeah. No, that's a dove.
Yeah, there's a dove.
Two outs. Flying away over the All-Star break. Some heading to the All-Star game. Some are heading on vacation. Some like Gracie and I. That man's heading to the All-Star game. Some local heading to Salt River.
Todd, you're cordially invited to float down the Salt River with us.
I have
starting
my own
Monday.
Tube. Yeah, I've got a little tube that has a tube to bring the cooler.
Of course.
You ready for that? Is that all right?
Sounds to me like we might need a couple of tubes.
Need some speakers, flatbed, play Freebird all day
all the way
live.
Down.
Yeah, that's
you'll hear us coming, folks.
It's a great thing about technology now and editing. iTunes, you can just loop it. Back in the day of 8 tracks, couldn't do that. 1-1. Ground ball diving play. Cantu flips the Pinto covering, and so the Diamondbacks with a couple of runners on to start it come up empty. That took the final run away. Taking a ride out of town. The Birds always keeping an eye on what's going on elsewhere. They might want to visit. It's brought to you by FreeCreditReport.com. Know your score. Visit FreeCreditReport.com. Matt Cain hit by a line drive early in that game, and the leg had to come out of the game. Unfortunately, let's hope he's all right. Jason Marquis pitching very effectively. He's got 11 wins, by the way. And Albert, well, a couple of more hits, but the Cubs were victorious.
I think the Padres have decided they're just going to lose every game the rest of the year.
That'll do it.
They're done.
Oh, and 1 the count. Pinch hitter Andy Gonzalez. Of course, you saw Pujols at the bottom, 2 for 4. With a run scored. The Diamondbacks will see Albert Pujols immediately after he is the host with his ball club for the All-Star game. Always get a look from you on that. He's allowed to be the host.
Oh,
that's your host card.
Yeah.
The Albert game in St. Louis.
I just laugh. You say Albert's hosting.
Well, he is.
Well, aren't the Cardinals hosting?
I'm going to say that it's Albert Pujols, and he's hosting the All-Star game. You know how it is.
At his house?
Well, there may be some gatherings at his house. That is his house, actually, the more I think about it.
No, that's his office.
That one.
Oh, what a good play.
Just off the plate. 1-2 the count. You'll hear from him, by the way, another conversation each year. When the Diamondbacks visit the St. Louis Cardinals, we get to get inside the head and get to know a little bit more about the game's best player. We'll hear from Albert Pujols and talk with him. Change up, line drive, left field. That's an out.
Parra got a nice jump on that ball. Right off the crack of the bat. He was at full speed. See Gonzalez out in front. You can see full speed already, showing some closing speed. And then makes a nice running play. John Garland, very appreciative of that.
That pitch bounces in there. 1-0 the count. John Garland, 29-year-old right-hander. Grew up in the Granada Hills, California area in the San Fernando Valley. Kennedy High School is where he played. As that one misses. Garrett Anderson produced Kennedy High School, his old teammate last year in California. As Roush warms in the pen. Bouncing ball to short. Hopper erased. 2 outs. And again, just to button up, as we like to say up here in the broadcast booth, the conversation about the game's best hitter. This is comparing 2001 with Barry Bonds through 88 games. And it's eerie. Oh, look at Barry's slugging percentage. Huh.
And the on-base percentage, almost 500.
Trying to think if...
It's just amazing.
I think if a 13-13 OPS is any good, or if what John Garland's doing is any good.
Oh, that's showing some athleticism right there. What a great play. You are having a heck of a day, young man.
They're ready when you are. Go to Southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Flying up high to our APS rooftop solar cam, reminding you, visit APS.com. Find the best price plan that fits for your home, your busiest schedule, and your quietest times. All that available at APS.com. John Garland with a man in the on-deck circle to hit for him has matched the longest outing of the season. He has gone 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 117 pitches, a whale of an outing.
117 pitches. Impressive thing. The last 3 innings, the last 4 innings. What's impressive is he faced the minimum.
Yep.
I mean, he was just in cruise control.
Chris Young is erased. And John Garland followed our key to the game. Hickory Gym, Hinkle Fieldhouse. Equals. From the great movie Hoosiers.
Took a lot of explaining, Lucy. But that was a big league key to the game.
Well, 10 feet high the rim. 15 feet away the free throw line, just like Gene Hackman did it for his young basketball team. John Garland knowing the measurements and understanding that making his pitches, it all ends up the same. And he did make his pitches. He's officially done now with Romero hitting for him at 296. Boy on the outside. Veteran Brendan Donnelly facing this lineup as you take a look at our Nova home loans in-game box score. Justin Upton, pretty darn good, but really everyone finding a way to do something. Something.
The one guy that didn't do much offensively, John Garland, boy, he has been delicious on the mound. Don't miss tomorrow's 110 game against the Marlins. Hang in there, D-Sut. The first 25,000 fans will receive a D-backs fitted cap. You see it right there on the beautiful Vanessa, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Call 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com. A fitted cap.
And the great thing, that one size, that's the way it's supposed to be worn right there.
Vanessa.
Perfect.
Turn your hat around, young lady. You don't wear it like that. Come on, you know better than that. Oh, Darren.
1-0 the count. Bouncing ball, and it's gobbled up to the bag, and 4 and out goes Cantu. 3 more outs, and the Diamondbacks have won 7 of their last 8. jersey. It's worth picking up a Mark Reynolds jersey, quite honestly, as we weave in our last couple of mentions for you. And we always like to remind you fans at home, hop online with caps and jerseys, t-shirts, all the gear, not only for the Diamondbacks, but from that spot, dbacks.com/shop, you can get all your All-Star Game jersey as well. Right there.
Right there.
We love the team shop, though.
Yes, we do. And they're going to learn to love us.
They're getting there. They're coming around. Fine donation of that Mark Reynolds jersey to our good friend Austin, who voted.
Nice of him to do that.
Here's Chad Qualls. Not a safe situation. Trying to put this game away. Oh, what an outing for John Garland. That'll start you just fine, Hanley Ramirez. 0-1 the count. Garland, innings 1, 2, and 3 gave up 1 run and 6 hits. Innings 4 through 8, no runs and 1 hit. Slider way out front. Is there room for Mark Reynolds? Still flashing the glove. You bet.
It's nice to have a pop-up right near your own dugout. You're getting lots of help. You'll see Chad Tracy come in and be there just in case. You don't want one of your teammates to take a tumble. Attaboy, Chad. That's being a good teammate. And they're letting you know you got plenty of room, and he makes the play.
Jorge Cantu. Pouring in a strike. 0-1 the count. Brandon Webb trying to stay out of the way of that pop-up. Chad Tracy knows what it's like to be an infielder needing help.
I did that one time. I wasn't playing, Darren. Vance Law was the third baseman. We were in the third base dugout, and he was coming towards the stairs, and I stood up, and I'm like, I got you just in case, Vance. Ball hit me right on top, right on top of that. I wasn't watching the ball. I was watching Vance Law. Got me right on top of the head, and I honestly had tears in my eyes. Oh, that hurt.
Be ready, infielders. It's a slider and it's low. 2-1 the count. I can imagine.
Well, that little button right on top of the. That's right.
Just going to say that.
I mean, if somebody just taps that button, that hurts your head. Now, imagine taking a high foul pop up off that thing. Needless to say.
Right there.
Yep, that little thing right there.
Outside. 3-1 the count.
Like a nice piece of metal right on that little button right there. Ouch.
They're sharp. They hold the hat together. It's a good look there.
Of course, you're getting it from your teammates, you know. Trying to be a nice guy, help them out. And it's tough to laugh when you got tears in your eyes.
That one belted deep left center field. Toward the gap it goes. The ballpark holds it. So a double for Cantu.
Having himself a nice afternoon. That's his third hit. 2 singles and now a double.
And now Hermida. This year. Oh, a fish grill. Nice job, ladies. Got the eye black on.
I don't like the eye black. I was an eye black guy. I wasn't one of those fancy shade guys, you know, like you were. Darren likes those fancy shades. I was more an eye black guy. Wow, a lot of fish humor today in these signs. Yeah, those are more Darren's type of shades.
I used to wear those when I played. That was a good look. Tony Clark up the ladder. Ended Tony. Back him up.
I think Tony must have thought he was throwing it to himself.
That's a very good point.
And maybe only Tony Clark is going to catch this line drive for the Diamondbacks. He's up there about 6'7". Climb the ladder, Tony, and then, oh wait, Steven, you're not 6'7"? No. But 2 outs nonetheless.
That's all that matters. No harm, no foul at all. And as Gracie said, he actually saved a run by being so tall. 2 outs. Sinking fastball a little bit low, and he did not go around. 1-0 the count. Trying to put together a nice run of victories, these Diamondbacks. Should have won in the opener of this series. No doubt about it. But that's in the rearview mirror, and the 1-0 is fouled off. 1-1 the count. A.J. Hinch, when he's given the ball to Chad Qualls here at home, his ERA is 2.84. It's about 2 runs higher on the road.
Chad Qualls trying to tie up in a pretty bow. A fantastic outing by John Garland.
Nine starts for Garland without a victory.
1 out away from that ending.
The 2-1. Bouncing ball. It's a foul ball, and now 2-2 the count.
Diamondback fans very appreciative of what they've seen here this evening. A big heaping helping of John Garland. And now hoping to get the finishing touch here from Chad Qualls.
The 2-2 pitch. Slider way over the top of it, almost turned it over, and the count is full. Runner on second, 2 outs. And 1 for 2 with the walk. The full count pitch. Got it! John Garland, for the first time since May 19th, is a winning pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He's deserved a better fate along the way, but he took matters into his own hands in this ball game. Then they gave the ball to Chad Qualls, not in a safe situation.